Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, and we're going to spend a little time right now right in mid-Michigan with one of our favorite law firms, Foster Swift, at their office in Lansing. Of course, they have offices all over the state, and we're going to be visiting a little bit with Olivia Reid. Olivia, welcome to the show. It's good to see you. How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on here. It's nice that we're all in the mid-Michigan area.
Well, it's not just that we're being nice. We need what you have, okay? So, it's funny. I was going to start off with let's talk about the elephant in the room, but this is the whole room because everybody is talking about AI and
Yeah.
everybody is finding out how to implement it, and you're on the legal side of this because AI law is pretty new stuff.
Yes, it's all new.
Yeah. So let's AI has been presented a lot of uncertainties, right, for business owners. Can you describe some of those uncertainties and the issues that come with them?
AI has presented unprecedented issues for everybody. And a big part of this is that there's no legal framework for everybody to work on. So there's piecemeal state legislation and there's federal acts that are coming in, and we're just trying to work out and figure out how are we supposed to interpret and view these things. Then business owners are expected to comply with these items, and it's really hard and confusing. So the main issues that AI specifically has been presenting is that it makes it really hard to protect your data and protect your clients and all the sensitive information that you have. Phishing is extremely high right now. Deep fakes, where people are making these videos pretending to be people, is really high right now. And AI is just making these fake and fraudulent items that much harder to detect. So that's something that business owners are really struggling with right now.
No, you're absolutely right. So, cue us on a couple of some of the best practices that you could recommend business owners.
For business owners who are dealing with this issue, which is really everybody, if you have email and you're getting these attempted fraudulent emails and phishing emails, we really recommend that you have an incident response plan in place. So what this is it's something that helps you on the front end figure out what you're going to do if a data privacy issue happens to you at your business. You always don't think it's going to be you, and then it is, and what do you do in that, and you need your team to know. So we recommend making an incident response plan. So what that is you and your whole team are going to put together and say you're in charge of doing this in the event of a data breach, you're in charge of doing this, and you're in charge of doing that, and making sure everyone's on the same page helps a lot. Another thing that we also have been really recommending is that when people are going to be using AI within their firms, choose what you want your employees to be using and how you want them to be using it. And we also are saying that when you're using an AI vendor, make sure you look into them a little bit. Do some of your own due diligence. One of the major things that we want you to look for is what are they doing with your data? Are they taking your data to train their models? Are they using your data and outputting it somewhere else? Or is it remaining confidential? Because not only do you want to make sure that your employees are giving you good work product, you want to make sure your employees in your business is not putting confidential information into these programs.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about best practices they can have. What are some of the worst case scenarios they run into?
Some of the worst case scenarios we see are people who use AI for marketing materials. So there's a really big issue where business owners will put something, let's say, in a large language model like ChatGPT, and they think that the image created is their own. And we've had clients who are faced with cease and desist letters because AI isn't creating those images on their own. They're stealing those from other people. So these business owners don't know that they're infringing other people's property, intellectual property rights, until they get that cease and desist letter. So that's one of the major things that we are warning our clients about. Another thing we're warning them about is that the phishing emails, they used to be super obvious, right? It was like, send me your social security number. And everybody was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. But
Yeah.
now they are faking their email addresses to make it seem like it's internal, to make it seem like it's from your boss, making them sound really urgent. So we're also really warning people against opening up, not just opening up those emails, but not having training within your system for your employees to learn what the risks are and what could happen to your business. So warning against those emails and warning against using AI generated images and marketing materials.
Well, the most lethal thing that I see about this is it's visual. I can remember when people
Yes.
were having their identity stolen, but it was never visual. And so you just kind of had to trace that down. Can you talk a little bit more about some AI policies that can help business owners?
When I mentioned earlier that you want to make sure your whole team is using the same platforms and on the same page, the way that we recommend business owners implement that is through a AI use policy. So this is something that we draft for clients all the time. You can work with a legal advisor or any other professional, and what it's going to do is it's going to set out what AI tools are allowed within your company, how you're allowed to use them, what information is allowed, and going through all this, it really helps from the HR perspective because if your business finds out that someone's breaching this policy, they can point to the policy and say, hey, you breached our policy. Now you are subject to termination because of this. So it also is helpful from an HR standpoint. So we really recommend implementing those policies because it also sparks conversations. Sometimes business owners forget to talk about all these things. You have so many things are going on, things are constantly coming up, and AI might not be the number one thing on your plate. So
Yeah.
implementing an AI use policy, make sure you talk about it.
Well, listen, Olivia Reid, associate with Foster Swift here in the Lansing office. Thanks so much for bringing us up to date on that stuff. We'll be bothering you in the future because there's more to come, I'm sure. And I would recommend too to our audience get a professional involved because I know you guys understand it. You're on the cutting edge. So, Olivia, thanks for joining us. We appreciate
Of
it.
course. Thank you so much for having me.
You've been watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.